welcome back, my family. My name is Hugo I Go, and wherever I go, you can go as well, And as you can see in the title, that means that you are coming with me, and wherever I go, you are there. But I'm not going nowhere today. I'm just going to be standing here or sitting here and explain part of my reason why, My first experience of traveling, it was when I was about 5 or 4 or 6. Cannot remember that because I was young anyway, but I have that memory of around about that age. Traveling from where I was born in Jamaican, Clarendon, to a place called Main Ridge up in the mountain. And this mountain is the second highest mountain area then of Jamaica. And I was wondering that first time traveling with my grandaunt, who I grew up with, why she have choose to travel at that time in the night. Going up to the mountain and start to do my little traveling from there, going back out into the town area. Like what we would do, start off our journey from about maybe 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, because there would be no transportation up in those hills or mountain at them time there. It would usually be our donkey to carry our little things that we need to travel with. So we travel down the mountain with me and my grandaunt with buckle lamp. And if you don't know what is buckle lamp is, a buckle lamp is like a bottle with kerosene or those or perfume, whatever you'd call it, and with a little wick. Whether it could be paper, your stuff inside, and and that was our light for our journey. Or yes, it was moonlight time. So that was part of my experience of traveling. So traveling down to catch the first early country bus what would take us into maybe back into Jamaican or the close surrounding. My first country where I visit from Jamaica, it was England, London. And that was in the year of 1976. The reason why I've traveled there, because I was 16 years old anyway, and it was my mother and father was living over here with my sibling, and they decided to send for me at that age. So that's my first actually traveling an aircraft. And to actually remember, I remember the aircraft what I was in, it was BOAC. Much people don't know of those aircraft because they stop fly, Did I do enough traveling around the UK? I travel majority of the major cities are in England, and part of my traveling was part of little music. And my first experience, I remember my first actually proper traveling, it was keeping a dance in Wales, in Cardiff. And maybe it was about it could be months after I just came to England, and it was a coach trip. We are whooping about 2 or 3 coach trip going into that dance there from London, So, it was a really long journey for I at the first time anyway. So from there, so I get into the vibes of want to travel in England, wherever a dance was going on, because of the music. And my first country outside of England, it was in Holland, Northern London, and it was in Amsterdam. So our first journey, taking a a train down to a place called, I don't remember, you know. I think it was, yeah, I don't actually remember that place, but I remember I take the ferry over and reach to the place of, we call the hook of Alan, and from there we end up into Central. Everyone who ever gone to Alan, Amsterdam itself, will know of that place, Central. Yeah. When did I realize I first into traveling? I feel so from that time, when I was that age of 5, you know, it come into my vibe, so yes, that is, you know. So from there, it just into my system to travel, you know. Through my most adventurous travel was driving to Africa with me and my wife into a VW camper van. So it was actually from London to Ghana, you know. And in those times there, we actually did take the ferry because there was no Euro shuttle was around. That means the Euro shuttle, what I mentioned. There's not many people know of these type of things. So I'm going to explain. The Euro shuttle drive underneath the sea over to France anyway, right? So before that, it was just on the ferry. So we have to take the ferry over to France, and then from France down to the bottom of France and down to the bottom of Spain, right over to Morocco. One might say, you know, the world of all these war and all the problem going on over the places anyway. If I would really fear of traveling, I wouldn't really that worry about traveling that much there, because of, as a traveler, you got to really feel confident within yourself. And if you are traveling with love and confident, you go a long way with, you know, traveling. So, you know, if you are to worrying about what's going on in the world, you will never even step outside of your doorstep. So that would be the first step. Yeah. So from there, yeah, you got to make further step. And yeah, how many countries have I visited? I've visited about 18 countries so far. Some of them we just pass through, and some of them have spent a little time to understand those countries, you know. But yeah, well, when you ask me, out of all those countries what I've traveled, what is my favorite country? I really have no favorite country out of all of them, because of every country have them little things about them anyway. And then I find certain good things and certain things that I don't like about certain country. But you know, every one of them so far. So I'm not gonna really say any country are my favorite. I want to say, why don't say Jamaica? But yeah, Jamaica is my real inbred country, what I actually grew up into. So you know, maybe I could say maybe that's my favorite country. And also I am now in the UK still, and other countries, like to name all those countries in Africa what I like, kind of hard state. So but one of my main countries in Africa so far, I would say Kenya. What I love so much about traveling is a thing like this near. When you start to travel, you experience a lot of things what you wouldn't even imagine you would come across in life anyway, you know. And the more you travel is the more experience you get, you know, and know how to deal with people, interact with everyone, you know. And yes, so much more to learn in a traveling. And the best way to traveling, it always be sharing love. The most joyful way of traveling. And my preferred way of traveling, it would be like traveling on land, you know. Because land is you know, to earth, as you would say anyway, you know. If I could really foot it to wherever I'm going, that would be the best way. But they really are so fast and so wide, you know, it's kind of hard. So if I get the opportunity and life all spare and everything is good, my favorite way of traveling, I would like to travel into a motorhome or so, travel over land and, you know, travel the world into a motorhome, which, you know, you have everything inside, you could live experience. So that's one of my favorite way of traveling. Because traveling with a plane, you don't really see much. You don't see the sky, and occasionally if you look down, if you can see the sea, you might get a chance. And train are too fast sometimes, you know, or yes, you're traveling on those slow train, which I don't think I can afford right now to travel on those train where you have to pay a lot of money to drive through some countryside. And yeah, so that is those are my favorite way of traveling. How do I get on with different language and culture? Language is not really so much a problem, because if you have just a common sense, a vibes anyway. And I remember this when I was in Morocco. That's the first time, I don't speak Arabic or French. And we park up into this hotel car park, and these people come out of the hotel, the workers them come out of the hotel, and start to talk. And they was inviting me in their section where they sleep in here or where they would stay. And I was having conversation with them so much, and I don't understand what they're saying, and they don't understand what I say, but we're having a conversation, and and it was good. But it just wanted to really, even accent, I'm very good at I feel I'm very good at understanding accent anyway, because if you are interested to hear what someone are saying, you will understand it anyway. That's what put a little interest in what people are saying. Sign language, body language, these are the things you learn from. What I would advise anyone who thinking of traveling, is to be yourself and full of confidence anyway, and travel with love. Because if you don't have love, but before loving yourself first, and when you feel that love inside of you, you can always be able to love other people. So that's my good advice of telling you how you could travel. Would want to travel? Where next? I cannot really say, because life is, I usually use this word, is one big road with a lot of sign. So whenever, whatever sign come to make a move anyway, you just make that move, and that's how it is.